All right, William here, sending off our next trailer, so hopefully in a vain attempt to prevent me from making a snide remark, we have the latest British villain in the latest Star Trek movie.
Into Darkness.
Oh, Into Darkness, I'm sorry, yes. How very astute of you to point that out.
You think you can't make mistakes? But the choices you make could get yourself and everyone under your command killed. But I believe in you, Jim.
Darkness is coming.
This could just be the beginning.
Beginning of what?
All-out war.
I request permission to go after him. I cannot allow you to do this.
Jim, you're not actually going after this guy, are you?
Let's go get this son of a bitch. You are a pawn, Kirk.
Sir, there's a ship heading right for us.
You can't even guarantee the safety of your own crew. Now, shall we begin?
I'm sorry.
So that was the new Star Trek Into Darkness movie, the new J.J. Abrams movie. If you don't know who J.J. Abrams is by now, what rock have you been under? You know, Felicity, Alias, Lost, Fringe, Person of Interest. I'm probably forgetting some other television show. Super 8, the first Star Trek, Mission Impossible 3, producer of Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
It seems like you'd have to go under a rock to find most of these pieces of work.
Oh, shut up. Starring Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, I think I'm saying his name right, and the villain.
Hero's villain.
Yeah, Hero's villain. And the villain of this movie, though, is Benedict Cumberbatch. Am I saying his name right?
Close enough. And yeah, Sherlock Holmes fame.
Yeah, well, we say Sherlock Holmes fame, but a lot of people might not know. Yes, BBC. If you haven't, he was in a small role in Atonement.
I'm pretty sure most people know
and
it.
War Horse.
Since
and The Hobbit.
Irena Adler. He was barely in The Hobbit, right?
He was, yeah. It was like that.
Miss Irena Adler's little nude scene was the highest rated thing on cable this past year. I'm pretty sure a few people caught that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, no, it was just me and Carl watching. You're right. I'm sorry, folks. No one saw that besides that.
Anyway, but that's the people in the movie. That's the movie. And Will, I know you have something to say.
What's the deal with the British villains again? I didn't realize we were fighting the War of 1812 and the American Revolution all over again.
The last one had an Australian guy.
Yeah, but he
Playing
wasn't
British.
Australian. Yeah, he was playing a Romulan. Now we have an Earth. He looks like he's just Earthican.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know what's the deal. Like, what is it? Like, it's like a throwback to the Star Wars days where it's like the evil empire. Except now the Americans are the empire and the British are the rebels. Yes, and not only that, hey, you know what would be great about a Star Trek movie? Taking cues from Iron Man 3, folks. It would do great in a Star Trek movie. Can we get rid of the ship and just give them a bunch of guns? Can we do that? That'd be awesome. You know, because this one, it just looks like it's just going to be a space western, which is fine, except we did that in 1977 with a little movie called Star Wars.
And we've been doing it ever since with sci-fi movies in space.
Yes, and it's
Firefly.
Yeah, you know, Firefly, Andromeda, Babylon, you know, just all this stuff. And it's just more and more this whole idea of just like, hey, let's push the envelope, make it a really gritty action film so everyone's entertained. You know what? We don't always need to see a gun to be entertained. Throwing that gauntlet down. Just humor us. Occasionally try to show how we can be entertained without a gun pointed at us. I know, novel idea.
You think you're safe. You are not.
That's the end of my negativity on this. It doesn't look very interesting. It looks like I have nothing to say bad about the portrayal of the villain, because just even the methodology of the voice acting alone is kind of terrifying in there. Yeah. And you know, it kind of looks like a throwback to the whole Khan ideal where this is like a superhuman person. He's able to take out pretty much the entire Federation.
I think with this one they're going with the
solo.
the last one, Romula was more of a powerful enemy, like strength and like size, like physical strength. Where this one they're going with like he's a smarter villain. than the
and
Federation.
and they point out they're hopelessly outgunned, which is they always are in Star Trek. Just like, oh my God, the engines are dead. We have one proton torpedo left, and the phasers are all dead. What are we gonna do? How about this? And then can we, before we do that, can we turn that into a metaphor? Absolutely, we can. All we have to do is this, like A and B. Oh, if we do that, it'll be just like A and B. Hey, A and B worked.
But anyway, from my view on it, I think the movie is going to be pretty good. I've never was a fan of Star Trek until J.J. Abrams did the Star Trek movie a couple years ago, and what caught me was a trailer for that one. This one, trailer the same. I look forward to seeing it. Am I going to rush to go see it? Not necessarily. I'm going to go with another matinee. I think it's going to be good fun.
I am going to go with a matinee, despite the negative stuff I said, because I was literally like just the guy in line who did not want to see this film. I was dragged to see the film the first time. The first iteration of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. And then I was sitting there watching it, and I was just like, oh, well, this is actually pretty good. Thanks for dragging me to this one, guys.
Right.
And so, given that I have the same feeling going into this one, may not be the worst thing in the world.
Let's see if they can strike gold again, so to speak.
Yeah, no,
sequel.
strike while the iron's hot
Yeah.
is not J.J. Abrams' method, clearly, because it's been 4 years.
Oh, and speaking of J.J. Abrams, we're talking about him bringing back Star Trek. He is now the director of Star Wars.
Sha-la-la-la-la. We don't talk about that, all right? I'm still hoping Disney, I don't know. If anyone can somehow think their way through this to where those new Star Wars movies aren't made, I will gladly help and assist you with my services in any way possible. But
I'm looking
until
forward
then,
to it.
Star Trek.
I was never a huge fan of Star Wars. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't like something I went out to always to see. And I'm looking forward.
We'll be right back.
Don't you interrupt me.
We'll be right back.